off, I just wanted to maybe just have you tell us all, I introduce you. We know you're a personal trainer. We know you do boot camps, but tell us a little bit more about Sync Fitness.
So I started Sync Fitness 10 years ago when I became a personal trainer. I knew that I wanted to reach as many people as I could as a trainer. And I also knew that I wanted to reach beyond just working in a traditional gym setting. So I've been running.
Which can be kind of boring, just being in the gym all the time.
Yeah. And it's and as a trainer, it's not the most fun capacity to work in. So I decided to start my own thing. And I set up my boot camp about almost 4 years ago now. And it's been awesome. It's been so much fun. It's a huge group of men and women and diverse backgrounds in terms of abilities and body shapes. And it's just a great place for people to come and sweat it out and feel really good for the rest of the day afterwards. And so it's been kind of a game changer for a lot of people in the area.
Yeah, actually, we were just talking, my other guest, Sara, the other Sara of the day, and I were just talking about how when you work out in the morning, you feel so much more energized for the rest of the day. So totally agree with that. So boot camps, is that primarily what your program consists of, different boot camps throughout the year for people and ongoing programs and things like that?
So my boot camp program runs year-round. It doesn't have a specific start or stop. People jump in whenever they want. They come for as long as they want. I have people now who have been with me for coming up on 4 years since I first started.
Oh, wow.
And I have people who come for a few months at a time and kind of come and go. So I have that program, and then I also run weight loss programs, and my weight loss programs are very specific time periods, like a 4-week period or an 8-week period. And when people sign up for those, then we work together in a kind of a more comprehensive capacity, focusing on nutrition, diet, a bunch of support systems. And then in addition to that, they come to boot camp. So those programs have kind of a beginning and an end, whereas boot camp just is an ongoing thing where people can just stay in great shape year-round.
Nice. Do you have any fitness programs for people who might be going to Vegas and need to look good in a bikini in 2 weeks? Because that's what I'm dealing with right now.
There's actually stuff that you can do. I've worked with a lot of brides, and there's things that you can do in 2 weeks. It takes some discipline, but there's definitely, I had a bride come to me 2 weeks before her wedding, and she's like, oh my gosh, my dress doesn't fit. And I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. And we did it. Like, we got her dress on her. She had to be very diligent with her diet during that 2 weeks and exercise and everything, but she totally did it, and she looked amazing. So, yes.
Is that like the Beyonce cayenne pepper lemon cocktails? That's all you have for 10 days?
I have done that, and I don't recommend that, but I have done it because I feel like I should experiment with these things so I can tell people. That's horrific.
Really?
But no, it was more about just eating really, really clean, keeping things pretty low carb, getting your carbs from fruits and vegetables. So the more you take out kind of empty carbs and empty calories and really focus on protein and produce, the more you can drop weight quickly. And tons and tons of water.
Okay, that's good to know. So I'll be, after talking with the Saras today, I'll be well on my way to looking good in Vegas the weekend of June 20th.
Excuses.
A little behind. So, well, your boot camps sound fun. I was reading about them online. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about them, kind of what to expect out of them, what you'll get out of them, what to be prepared for, maybe what kind of exercises you do?
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they hear boot camp, they immediately feel a little intimidated. Like it's
I do. I'm like, it sounds like a lot of work.
And I even spoke with a copywriter when I was putting together my program, and I was like, should I even use the word boot camp? Because immediately there's going to be people who are like, no way, I'm not doing that. But it's a really supportive environment. Like I said earlier, it's people of all sorts of abilities. People come in pretty nervous. I usually talk with people before they come in over the phone or via email, and that kind of alleviates their nerves. But once you come in, you see that like you can do everything at your own pace. Everything can be done to your own ability. My trainers are really great at making sure to accommodate everyone's needs. So if you're a brand new person who hasn't done anything in 3 years, or I've even had women in their 50s come in and they've never exercised consistently in their life.
Wow.
And they do amazing. So you really can cater it to what you need. You can also come in if you're in great shape and just get your butt kicked. So we really work to kind of cater to a wide range of fitness abilities and make sure that it's a safe and comfortable place. And my biggest thing is that it's a comfortable place for people, that you're not walking in feeling intimidated or threatened by the people around you, and that you just feel like you can come in and do what you need to do for yourself on any given day in terms of working towards your fitness goals. And so now I have a lot of people in there they've been in class for a handful of months now. I have a couple of women who've lost like 50 pounds or so in the last 6 to 12 months, and they're doing things they never thought they would do. I have 2 clients ran a marathon over the weekend, and when they started
full
boot camp,
one?
they couldn't run. Yes, 26 miles.
That's
and when
far.
they started boot camp, they couldn't even run 1 mile. And we
Wow.
don't focus on running. So it's just kind of getting your mindset shifted in terms of everyone can be an athlete, and you just need a starting point. So.
That's nice, too, making it feel comfortable for people. I mean, I love to work out, and I do all sorts of different things. And I was at a class the other night, and the instructor was like yelling at me and not telling me I was doing the exercise well enough, and different people. I was like, this is not encouraging.
Right. Yeah. I don't respond to that well personally when I'm working out and someone's doing that to me, so I don't do that to other people. I think people work hard when they're supported, not yelled at.
Absolutely. And I want to get to this next part of the interview where we have some fun questions that you get often as a trainer. But can you just tell us a little bit more about the boot camp in terms of where people can find more information and kind of when you run it?
Sure. So, like I said, it runs year round. Right now we have 15 classes a week, and some are early morning, some are in the evening. We have classes on Saturdays. So if you go to syncfitness.com, that's SYNC fitness.com, you can see the full schedule. And anyone is welcome to come try out a complimentary class and see if they like it. So, yeah, it's lots of options for people. And we're located in the Inner Bay area between Magnolia and Queen Anne.
That's easy to get to. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know that as a trainer, you probably get a lot of questions about weight loss, health, everything in between. And we had talked before the show, and you had said that you get all sorts of questions about weight loss myths. And I wanted to ask you kind of some myths that you hear that are common about losing weight and respond to some of those.
Yes, so there's a handful. I would say the biggest things I hear from females, because I do have more female clients than male clients. So the biggest thing I hear from females is when they come in to lose weight, they always say to me, I know I just need to do more cardio and I'll lose weight. And that's such a myth. Cardio can help you. Cardio helps you gain fitness for sure, and it makes your heart very healthy, and there's definitely a place for it. But what most women don't do is strength training, and building a little bit of lean muscle mass has a huge impact on your metabolism. And so people think of it as I need to go burn off X amount of calories because I overindulged yesterday or earlier today or whatever. And it's really not about burning off calories every time you consume calories. It's about having a body where your metabolism is always revved up and on fire. And when your metabolic rate is always jacked up, then you don't have to worry about trying to burn calories after every time you overindulge. So, and the way you do that is through strength training and building some lean muscle mass and not being afraid of lifting weights. And so this is something I talk a lot about with women because women tend to be afraid of, oh, I'm going to get bulky and I'm going to get too big. And we're very focused on, I just need to burn X amount of calories because that's how many calories I consumed.
I'm definitely that way.
Completely the wrong mindset. Yeah. So my clients that have the most success are the ones that really focus on getting strong. And when you focus on getting strong, then you lose weight and you get smaller. And a lot of times my clients that get smaller and get like their kind of most ideal body don't always see the change they expect on the scale. So people will come in and say, I'm looking to lose 30 pounds, but it's like sometimes after only losing 10 or 15 pounds, they're down to the size clothing they want to be in because they've gotten more lean. And it's about getting lean helps you find the body that you want more so than focusing on numbers on the scale. The other myth I would say, the big one I get is about diet and people thinking that they need to go fat-free or carb-free or things like that where they just take out one big chunk out of their diet in terms of one big group. And that, again, is not necessarily true. I'm a big fan of having like a low-grain diet, but that doesn't necessarily mean low-carb. You can get a ton of carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables. And so that's something that we talk a lot about is how to use your foods appropriately for weight loss, which is eye-opening for a lot of people.
And we're here with Sara Dean, owner and personal trainer with Sync Fitness, talking about some common questions she gets as a personal trainer, just talking about some weight loss myths. I have a couple other questions before we have to go to break. You touched on cardio versus strength training. I wanted to know your opinion on some popular workout trends right now. It seems like every other day you hear about the hot new gym or program around the corner, whether it be hot yoga, TRX, Tabata, what's some more? Spin, Soul Cycle, Core Power.
CrossFit. There's a lot of them. I think that, so when it comes to big workout trends, there's a lot of great things out there, and there's different things for different people, and so much of it depends on what your goal is. I don't think that, a lot of people think like, oh, sometime in my life I should run a marathon. If you want to do that, do that. That's great. But I don't think that that's like the be all end all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say the same thing about, people do hot yoga and they're like, I'm going to do 100 days of hot yoga. If that is very fulfilling to you, go for it. But I also see a lot of value in balance in training. And so sure, do yoga 1 or 2 times a week, and then do strength guided exercise 1 or 2 times a week, and then do cardio type stuff 1 or 2 times a week, and make those things that you enjoy. And so maybe you get your strength training in a boot camp, and you get your cardio by training for a 5K, and you can do those in conjunction with each other. So I think kind of identifying what your goal is and identifying things that you enjoy, and then just being aware when you're doing things. If it doesn't feel right for your body, don't do it. There's a lot of risks in some of the higher intensity exercise classes. And so I would say, from one boot camp to the next, that can vary greatly. If you have major joint injuries, I wouldn't recommend starting a boot camp unless you talk to the owner and make sure that is a safe and appropriate place for you to be. The same thing with CrossFit. If you have a bad back, don't go do CrossFit, or make sure that you're working with someone at a CrossFit facility that can really help you heal and be strong before you go throw around really heavy weights. So it's so dependent on your goals and where your body's at, and just make sure that you feel comfortable in the facility that you're in and with the trainers that you're working with, because trainers are not all created equal, and different facilities are not all created equal either.
Absolutely. So. One more question before we go to break, because we're going to be talking nutrition after the next break we have here. Diet versus exercise. What do you think, Sarah Dean?
So I get this question a lot, and I would say most people don't do them at the same time, and they should, because that's how you get the best results. So people say, I want to lose weight, and they just focus on diet, or they say, I want to lose weight, and they just focus on exercise, and really the two go hand in hand exponentially better than if you use them individually. So I really encourage my clients to focus on both at the same time, but also give yourself a little bit of leeway. So eat reasonably well 80% of the time, and exercise 4 to 6 days a week, kind of depending on what your life allows for at the moment. And so finding a balance with those two things is where you're going to really find the best results. But I don't find that people get amazing results that they maintain over time when they just do one versus the other. It really is kind of the marriage of the two.